I flew in. I was doing a shoot.
All right, again, you don't have to show off, man. Jesus Christ.
It's no big deal.
So
Jimmy John's sandwiches, no big deal.
Okay, now you're really showing us.
Super Bowl commercial. Like, wow, okay.
NCAA tournament. But
Hey, I notice you're still alive.
I'm still
Actually,
alive.
yeah, that is maybe hyperbole calling you alive.
I am barely alive right now. I mean, last night we were going to do a check-in this morning to see how I'm doing, and I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well.
I did text you alive this morning. You said alive, be there in 10, and it was.
And I was here
in 9.
Yeah, no,
You're
and
a pro.
that message woke me up.
I figured because the one before it didn't.
Nope. Nope.
So I thought I'd just send another casual one.
I woke up on the bathroom floor, so the phone.
The tiles are so cold; it feels so good.
The phone was by the bed, so I wasn't exactly hearing it.
But that's not. Well, all that matters is that you stayed alive.
I did it.
Because we have a big fucking celebrity. A 50-year-old absolute stud is coming on.
Yeah. I always say that our guest today, Mr. Jerry O'Connell, is my most handsome friend.
Yeah. And that always hurts because you always tell me
and
that.
I dig it right through. I always say it right in front of you.
You always lock eyes with me and tell me that.
You know I have a friend handsomer than you.
No way. In Hollywood?
Yeah, he's 50.
Oh, God. He is a very and to make him even more relatable, he was almost arguably famously a fat kid.
Yeah, which is it's wild to think of that because like the Jerry O'Connell that I met was yoked.
Yeah, he's shredded, married to a supermodel.
A supermodel. Yeah, it's like you think of him as this like, picture of kind of like, male virility.
Yeah.
And that was not how he started.
Yeah, and that's I don't know, inspiring.
Yeah, it's great. I think you're gonna love this conversation.
Wait, are we pretending like it didn't already happen?
Jerry O'Connell. Jared, it's so nice to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you since like January, since the fantasy
January
football.
6th in Capitol.
Since January 6th. I feel like I haven't seen you since we took those shits in Pelosi's desk.
Since the Bob's Burgers
Jerry
recording.
Jimmy Pesto.
Since the Mr. Show reunion.
Since the Sarah Silverman taping.
No, you are
That
not
was so inside, everybody. Just so you know, an actor that we're talking about was a J6er.
Yeah.
And
he
I
was
think
on the Sarah Silverman show.
everyone who is in comedy or comedy adjacent for the last 30 years was really paying attention to
once his image came up, someone's like, is that Jay Johnstone? Everyone's like, holy shit.
People picked him out of January 6th, like of that crowd so quickly. Like, that's the dude for Mr. Show.
It doesn't help that he's like 6'5".
Well, it was so crazy too, because the first time the photos went around, it was like, haha, that looks like our guy.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, LOL. Ha, ha. Can you believe it? Oh, look who was there. Ha ha ha, LOL, LOL.
And then they're like, wait a minute.
Passed away. But,
yeah.
What?
But I was going to say, this is...
I think it was Jerry Meyer who wrote, that's him, dude. And I went, ha ha ha, LOL. And he went, no LOL, that's him. No joke, no
Things
LOL.
have changed.
Yeah.
The pandemic was hard on all of us.
Well, the dude with the bear hat.
By the way, that's how I stay alive. I stay away from riots.
Yeah.
That's a smart way. The dude with the bear hat is my cousin, so Passover is super weird when he wears that at the Seder.
The QAnon Shalom.
The QAnon Shalom.
The Shalom Shaman.
The Shalom Shaman. So, Jared, we start everything by just asking base, like, what are you doing to stay alive? Like, what's your regimen? Because you are. I always say you're my handsomest friend, and you are so fit. What's your like day to day? We don't need like secrets or anything, but like, what are you doing? What are you getting?
No, I'm going to tell you everything.
Oh, great.
It's a great question. It's a big part of my life.
Yeah,
and it's really funny. It wasn't always, but it should, because I'm an interesting person to ask that question, because for the first 13 years of my life, I was extremely unhealthy.
And it's been
And
recorded.
it's documented. I mean, that's the difference. I feel like
I know you you were a fat kid. As a fat kid myself. A fat adult
You're talking
too,
to two fat kids.
I love how you guys pause a little bit before you drop an F-bomb.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We shouldn't even be saying that word, but
you were a chunky little monkey, weren't you?
Husky.
but Stand By Me obviously is one of our generation's biggest movies. Like that, we all grew up on that movie, and we know you as that kid.
Yeah.
You know, so there is, I think, outside pressure that we've never talked to someone who has the outside pressure of like people knowing you as a child.
Yeah.
You know.
But then you got yoked for My Secret Identity.
That's an even deeper cut than the Bob's Burgers cut.
Yeah, what was the workout regimen on Kangaroo Jack?
Actually, funnily enough, Kangaroo Jack was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
I think I knew that.
And you immediately, the second I was cast in it, you immediately go work out with his trainer every day for months before shooting starts.
That's real?
It was the most ripped I ever got.
Wow.
And you have to go. And by the way, if you miss like 2 or 3 days, you know, you get a trainer and you text, hey man, sorry.
Life is going by, yeah.
Can't make it today. I was in my 20s, so typically it was like hungover or something like that. And if you miss 2 days in a row, Mr. Bruckheimer would call or text you and say, hey man, you missed 2 in a row. And he wanted his boys ripped. Wow. And there was always, because he was about to produce Black Hawk Down right after Kangaroo Jack, so they were all coming in. Like Tom Sizemore was coming in.
I was going to say, that's a cast of a lot of young boys.
Oh, Tom Sizemore was coming in, and
Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom.
I'm forgetting the names of some of the actors, but and we were going out, and it was interesting. It was my first time jumping into the Hollywood machine
of training and like
of these guys who train specifically for a start date on a movie.
Wow.
And all you care about is the 2 or 3 months that you're shooting, and you can do it. It's almost like being a professional athlete. You can do whatever you want for the rest of your time.
Yeah.
But for these 3 months, you need to be in shape. And for me then, really it was mostly alcohol. Like alcohol, I don't really drink as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you right now, because this is a podcast called Staying Alive.
Yeah.
For me, not drinking alcohol immediately, you drop like 20, fellas.
Yeah.
You
Dude.
drop like 20, and you're not even doing anything.
I know.
And by the way,
I don't think you're alone as a 40-something, 50-something in LA who's like, guys, I started drinking less and I'm sleeping better and I'm shitting only once in the morning. You know,
I
like,
tell
so much
you,
stuff
it
changes.
really is like it's like obviously I work out regularly. I'm not one of these guys. I can't wake up in the morning. I try so hard. It's just I'm not. I really do. It's actually an argument with my wife and I because I set alarms to go. I'm going to lift. I love to lift. I love to get that pop. You know. And I'm sorry to be so shallow, but this is the podcast to do it.
No,
yeah,
you're talking to
two guys who love to lift.
To me. You can
this
be as
is,
shallow as you want.
you know, as a guy, lifting is such a good pop. If you do arms, you look
better.
You know what? I'm going to take my shirt off.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Let's do it. You know what? We've been trying to get a guest to take their shirt off the whole time, and no one.
I wasn't going to take it all off. I was just going to take
look
my
at
t-shirt
there you
off.
go.
Those arms are jacked, Jo.
We got some vascularity. We got some
look-
bicep and tricep
And your
development.
shoulders look good. You've been doing like
I'm a 50-year-old man.
You look amazing,
I
J.O.
try and do. I have a joke when I walk into the gym: chest and buys. That's my like Hollywood joke. But you know, also I am an actor who luckily happens to still be working in this business, which is like
amazing.
a gift. You know.
Also, what's your longevity now? What do you what
Stand By Me was made in 1985, and it is
baby.
now 2025.
It's a
so I'm on year
40-year-old movie.
40.
Yeah.
You're a Hollywood.
Now, mind you, I went to high school and college. I took off about 8 years.
Yeah, but you're royalty. You really
Well,
are.
I think that is probably the thing that makes you still alive and normal now is having to take a break and live a normal life for a little bit.
Yeah, I have a wife and kids, and you know, it's funny getting into the gym when you have responsibilities. What I do is I belong to a couple of less expensive gyms
all around the city.
A couple of less expensive gyms.
So that no matter what.
So no matter where I'm driving.
Smart.
Today I went to they should be your sponsor, a less expensive gym down the block.
Which one?
That's right here.
Which one?
Because it rhymes with Munch.
Equinox?
Munch Fitness is kind of my style of health.
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Oh, here we go.
Oh shit!
Drum roll. Yeah, yummy.
Looking good. Looking good.
Pally,
better.
You are looking good.
Thank you.
I've seen you.
I'm putting in the effort.
I've seen you not looking good, and you're looking good.
Thank you, JR.
You're not the first guest to say I've seen you look worse.
Well, listen, if this is a podcast called Staying Alive, everyone should know there are going to be ups and downs.
Oh, and all
right, now what the fuck am I doing with a sweatshirt on?
Yeah, take your shirt up. But
here we go.
I was going to ask you, Jay. You hit these gyms all over,
and I hit them for I go in for half hour, 40 minutes.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what's your pump? Like, are you going in for a half hour? Are you doing like chest and buys or exclusively?
I do a little bit of
push-ups?
always legs, always chest, a little bit of shoulder, just the stuff
like a full body every time.
Big,
right?
Not heavy weights.
And then let me ask you about diet.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's something that everyone is always, because I work out so much and so hard to look like shit, and it's because of my diet. Because I'm just getting by. I'm on the road. I'm eating whatever.
Yeah.
What are you doing to keep it?
This is when I'm going to sound like old RFK. I tried to.
And then I do your voice.
Yeah, all of a sudden. I might sound like RFK while I explain this.
I drink aquarium cleaner.
Bear meat. If you're eating it by the head, bear meat.
I actually learned this from also going to be an upcoming guest of Staying Alive. Paul Scheer.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I learned this from him. Every meal, Paul Scheer eats a salad.
Really?
Yeah, every meal. There's a salad with everything. It doesn't matter what he's getting. If you're at a Denny's getting eggs, he always orders a salad. And when I was with him for an extended period of time, I saw him always order a salad. And he went, yeah, it's just something I do. So now I always order a salad with everything I eat.
And talk about a guy who's lost some weight. Paul is extremely fit right now. So
wait, just to jump back to some stuff Jerry said real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
That salad thing is a really spot on and smart. I have an old trainer who's now like a more of a nutritionist guy who's like, even if you don't change your diet at all, but just add more vegetables, it will improve so much, because if you eat your vegetables, you're less likely, you're going to get full of good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm really someone who doesn't do anything drastically or intensely. I just sort of do little things okay, going for a half hour lift. Okay, order a salad. Maybe I don't even eat the salad. It's just there and I look at it. Let me just get back to Stand By Me for 1 second.
Please.
I was a hefty kid. I was a husky kid.
Yeah.
And Stand By Me came out, and a lot of people were, people I didn't know were calling me fat kid from Stand By Me.
Brutal.
And typically it was typically when it would be the most annoying would be older kids who you couldn't fight. They were bigger than you.
Oh my
or you
God.
couldn't say
fuck off, pal.
Fuck off, man.
Yeah. I'm rich.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't rich, but
look at my mom's account.
It was typically kids in high school going, "Oh, you're the fat kid from Stand By Me, right?" And you just take it, And it was so funny. At around 14, I grew up in New York City, so I didn't really have athletics. I didn't have a football program. Right. I didn't have a basketball team. I didn't grow up. Typically, as I raised children in the suburbs, it's so funny how much
they all play soccer. Or they all,
My daughters both play volleyball, and it's fucking
you're on the circuit
every day.
Yeah,
3 hours a day. My daughters are playing volleyball.
Yeah,
and I have a daughter who does.
That's not suburban. That's because I live in New York City. I'm still living in New York City and raising my kids there. My daughter plays volleyball 3 hours. I think volleyball. Okay. I think girls our daughter's age.
Yeah,
which is my daughter's 13. It has swept the nation.
Yeah,
girls are playing volleyball every day. And it's almost like the way that when like boys basketball when I was a kid and they would just like throw you in the gym and make you play basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it's like in every New York school. I think it's because it's like inside.
On Long Island, on Long Island where I grew up, it was soccer and lacrosse until you got old enough and was like, I'm fat and I'm playing the goalie. Maybe I should play football.
Yeah. I had a lot of friends who went to Post.
Yeah.
Post.
But there is a football team
you
now.
Get that. And if you're a J6er, you got our Bob's
CW
Burgers
Post,
joke.
baby.
There's a football team, a youth football team in New York now that my son plays on.
Oh, really?
And it's an amalgamation of all the schools.
Wow.
So
all right, so
it's improved.
So I grew up in the 70s and 80s. These things weren't there, but I was at around 14, my mother went to a gym around the corner from our house.
And where in New York City were you?
This is on 17th Street and 6th Avenue.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow, you really
in
grew
Manhattan.
up in the heart.
Yeah.
You grew up in Madison Square Park.
Yeah. So my mother worked out at a gym called, we're dropping the names of gyms here.
Yeah.
You got to get a sponsor.
Eventually we will.
David Barton Gym, which was
Very cool.
You know, it was a
Eventually became like the gayest place in
it was
New York City.
it was because I grew up in the West Village and sort of Chelsea. It was a I don't mean to generalize and stereotype, but it was a predominantly gay gym. It was. My mother had a trainer there. This is in the 80s, and she said, "Listen, I got a kid who needs help." And I went in and saw him, and his name was Charles Brown. And he was very
Charlie Brown?
Yeah, but he taught like he was a dancer and he
Right.
taught aerobics and he was like
He
one
always
of
had
these.
this fucking dog with him.
He heard himself missing a
sweater.
field goal.
He was a really handsome guy and just like a 80s aerobics instructor, dancer, everything. And this is crazy at 14. And this is really how it really helped shape me. It's a secret that he taught me. So at the age of 14, he gave me a little book. It was like, I remember it was a mini composition book. Okay. Like, you remember the composition books with like the
marble covers?
Yeah, the marble covers.
Yeah.
It was a mini one. And he went,
And it was handwritten Dianetics.
and he said, "Hey,
Memorize this.
take this book." And I went, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. You know, were we going to lift?" And he went, "We're not going to lift today. You're going to take this book and everything that goes in your mouth, everything. I don't care if it's a stick of gum. I don't care if it's a glass of water. I don't care if it's a sip of water fountain. I don't care if it's a soda. You're going to write it down in this book. And that's what you're going to do
That's intense for a 14-year-old.
for a week. Everything that goes in your mouth, everything that goes in your mouth."
I mean, that must have been intense for a 14-year-old.
So I took it and I wrote down everything. I carried it with me for a week. And then a week later, I saw him. Like, looking back, my mom must have paid for privates from a private trainer, you know? He was like, "Okay, let's start." And I got to tell you, when you're reading like 2-liter bottle of soda,
Right.
box of Entenmann's, you know, fruit punch, like you read it, Twix bar. It's like 2 Twix bars. You know,
it's like
back to back.
it's making you more present and conscious and accountable
Yeah.
for what you're doing. And you're like,
It's crazy.
it's easy to just put that in and move on with your life, but if you happen to have a tally of it, it starts to get to you.
So now I'm not the best eater. I'm not. Listen, I went to go see the. I saw Led Zeppelin in IMAX last night.
Oh, how was it? Is it really
Listen,
fun?
You gotta go see it. I'm a huge fan. And I really
Yeah.
liked
Is it really fun?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Oh, all right.
And my wife is a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and I have a joke with my wife where I take her to movies, and my wife loves legal substances.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, honey, use a legal substance.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you somewhere. I'm going to take you to a movie. I don't want you to know anything." She's the biggest Led Zeppelin fan. And
that's
not up
awesome.
on like what documentaries are coming out.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
IMAX went to go see it. And my wife like just turned to me and she was like, "Is this a Led Zeppelin documentary?" She was like, "Oh my God."
Nice.
And it's just one of those great documentaries where it's like, right, yes, so the first time we went into the studio, we didn't know what was going to happen, but yeah, it was electric, and then it goes into like the first
Music docs and docs about artists and docs about filmmakers and stuff are always the best because it's just chock full of clips of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
Like watching the De Palma doc, you're like, oh, look at all these clips from amazing De Palma movies.
Oh, I have to watch that actually.
I did that with Daniela, and I was like, pop an edible, and then I surprised her and took her to the Brutalist.
Anyway, so I wrote down everything I ate for a week, and that's when I have to tell you, that's when I stopped being the fat kid from Stand By Me.
Wow.
Literally after writing in that book.
You mentioned like mindless you're talking about being held accountable for eating, and I had a doctor when I was first like diagnosed with like learning disabilities and stuff and ADD and all that crazy shit that I have, dyslexia and everything, who said that my weight as a child was related to mindlessness, to like, because I had all these things going on, I can't focus, and I've got, a million things going on, I would just open a bag of food and start eating. And like,
because some people say with ADHD you chase a dopamine hit,
exactly.
and a treat will give you that dopamine
exactly.
hit.
And so like you're just like, oh, I need something. And for me as a child, it was like snacks and food, and like, so I wonder, like, as I go back in the therapy question, have you ever talked to like a food psychologist or someone, because that is such a strong way to. I mean, that Charlie Brown really threw you into the fire as a young kid,
Yeah. I'm so sorry. This is going to make me a boring guest, but no, I.
No,
you don't do therapy.
Honesty answer.
I haven't. I haven't done that. Let me just say, I do. I'm not a snacker, okay,
Right.
but I am a big meal eater.
Yes,
Right.
I'm a protein eater. I am not a vegan. I eat protein. I eat red meat.
Yeah, I know.
I eat cheese, dairy, and red meat. And like Paul Scheer told me, I have a little salad. I have a salad on the side always, but I eat a big meal to the point of being stuffed, and then I do not allow myself to snack.
Snake digestion.
And then I wait until another meal, or I'm hungry again to.
Are you intermittent? Are you intermittent fasting?
I wouldn't say I'm intermittent, but I do not snack in between meals.
Right, but you'll have breakfast in the morning.
I a lot of times skip breakfast, fellas.
So it is kind of intermittent, yeah.
Yeah,
But not on purpose, not with intentionality. It just ends up being that in hindsight.
I skip breakfast if I'm coming to do a podcast or something. No, I'm actually not kidding. I worry about getting lightheaded.
Yeah.
So I eat something before. But it's typically like a yogurt or like something protein. I'll even go to fast food and get something with egg in it.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
What's your treat? What's your breakfast treat? Like a McMuffin?
Yeah, I will do that. No, I won't do the biscuit one. I'll do the English muffin.
English muffin one.
They
even have one now that's like wrapped in an egg, so it's like less. You're really getting no carb.
Yeah,
That's a greasy handful while you drive, just holding sausage patties.
What's so funny? I worked with Brad Felchek, and he's jacked.
More like felt jacked.
He's jacked.
Yeah.
And I said to him, by the way, this is another tip. You see someone who's got a body that you like? Say,
yeah.
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
That's kind of the
that's why you're here.
Yeah, it's kind of the inspiration of this. You being a guest on our show.
When we're going down guests, I was like,
I said to him,
Jerry's a fit.
He's a great director. Loved working with him. And he's jacked. And I said, dude, what do you do? And he said, I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. So now sweet potatoes are in my diet. I got to tell you, I'm not even sure what's in them. I think they're I don't think they're carbs. I don't think they are.
No,
but
they're
they don't hit the same way as white potatoes.
They don't hit the same way.
Yeah.
So since I work with Brad Falchuk, I eat sweet potato. If I see sweet potato fries, I'm ordering them.
Getting them. Yeah.
And by the way, I go to a diner, I get corned beef hash and eggs, Give me the sweet potatoes, fries on the side.
Right. That's a nice tip, Jer.
And so that's like I wouldn't say I totally stay away from the bad food, but I
right.
You got to stay sane a little too.
And we always talk about balance, like.
Yeah, I mean, we hosted a travel show, and hopefully we'll maybe someday do it again about getting absolutely fucked up and eating whatever you want.
Yeah, I saw you guys at the vodka farm.
yeah.
I was like,
it was a farm of vodka.
By the way, I saw you guys. I was like, oh, these guys are going to hang glide or rock climb or something.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, they're in a vodka
We
factory.
didn't pass the weight limit on the hang gliding, so they put us back in the farm.
Thanks for saying we.
Well, we were strapped together.
No one told us to do that.
Yeah, no, we showed up.
Just an easier way for us to travel.
Let me get to something else here
Yeah,
that I
sure.
like to kind of think about. Also, I am 50 now, and that's a number. And I go to the doctor now. You know,
You do?
I get my butt checked. I get my heart checked. I had that one. You know,
Are you concierge? Like, do you have a doctor that you...
no, I have
a regular
insurance.
visit.
Yeah, I have SAG
Yeah.
insurance,
Yeah.
Just
and I
using the
go.
SAG?
And I have a GP, and I go see them.
Because
And
Hollywood is full of people, like, you know, someone will tell you, oh, you got to go see my doctor.
You know,
gotta go
I'm
to my
only
doctor.
mentioning this because it's staying alive. A lot of my friends, and they're well-to-do,
Yeah.
do the full body scan.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to do it. You got to do it. And for those who don't know, you go inside of a
MRI.
one of those
Yeah.
like tick, 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 tick things, and they check you all out. And every time I've heard, I don't want to say anything bad about it, but every time I've heard that story, they're like, oh, there might be something, and it turns out it's like scar tissue. Those are the two stories that I heard, so I
think
shouldn't
it's a
say
good point.
that.
It's a good
for
point.
some people.
It's a good point though, because I mean, so much of what the people we talk to when we talk to experts is like, there is no expert in this field for real. There's doctors and scientists who have data and will tell you, like, do this, it will help you, do this, and it will help you. But everybody else on the fringes is giving opinion, you know? And so, like, yeah, a scan, it's like people who are like, you have to do this scan.
I did the calcium CAT scan.
Yeah.
And to determine, because I have high blood pressure, they wanted to determine if I had any plaque issues. And I do have, according to this, light plaque issues, not danger, but this is the statin conversation previously we've had. So I like you're saying, if it makes you feel better, go for it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? If it's going to give you a clear head, go for it. Not everything is the right answer or the wrong answer.
And that's from diets to
supplements to wear barefoot shoes versus whatever, like whatever's working
there's
for
so
you.
much of this corner of the world, this wellness corner, that is baseless. And it's just like, you know what worked for me? And then someone writes a book about it.
But
and
like Jerry said, he sees a guy who's yoked and is like, hey, and the guy's like, sweet potatoes. You're like, oh, let me see if that's pretty much the premise of our show. It's like, oh, we're going to roll in all this advice from different people and take what works for us and leave what doesn't.
By the way, it's also like a revelation too. Like it like the first time you do it, I'm like, I can't ask this director, dude. Like, but it's like at some point, people love to share. Like,
I was just going to say, jacked people love talking about how they got jacked.
I saw Taylor Sheridan at a restaurant, and I was like, how'd you do that? And he smacked me in the face.
Beware of the old soldier, because he got old for a reason.
He hit me with a bolo tie.
they're sharp, those metal ends.
Cut my cornea.
Another big thing I did, man, I can't believe it. I'm 50. I never had a cigarette in my 40s. I don't know how. It's so funny. I smoked. I quit smoking for years at a time. I would pick it back up again. That nick was the toughest. It's so crazy too. Look, this is staying alive, so this is the place to talk about it. I quit smoking for years. I worked on a TV show. One of the stars of the TV show was doing I hadn't had a cigarette in 2 years. I had infant children at home. It was great. I was doing it. I was doing it. I was a healthy person. I had figured out how to shit without cigarettes. I had figured it out.
God bless.
I figured out how to take a shit.
You could make yourself shit without a cigarette?
I couldn't make myself shit, but like
I can't stop myself from shitting
every
without
day
cigarettes.
or two, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to shit, and I haven't had a cigarette in a month. This is crazy. I figured it out. My digestive system has figured it out. Wow, I'm going to be able to endure this drive, half-hour drive, without having a cigarette. How did I fucking do that?
You're on
That's
top of
a
the world.
fucking miracle. I'm doing a TV show. One of the stars of it was doing a photo shoot, a cover shoot for Cigar Aficionado. And this star said to me, hey, come in this photo with me. You know, we're both in this photo. And I said, oh, yeah. And he said, here's a cigar. And so I was like, no, not the, no. And he was like, come on, it's your Cigar Aficionado. And so I was holding the cigar. And then he held out a lighter and he was like, come on, let's light these uppies. And I went, oh, God, I don't smoke. And he was like, it's a cigar. It's for the shoot. Just do it.
Yeah.
And I took a couple tokes of that cigar. And I finished the cigar.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, that made me
I
nauseous.
got in the car. I hadn't had a cigarette in 2 years. Got in my car, stopped at the AM PM, and bought a pack of Marlboro Mediums and smoked for the next 4 years.
Whoa.
And that was it. Like I was.
I
that
hope you're
was it.
happy, Gary
Smoke-
Sinise.
It was not. It was not. It was not.
We're doing
was not.
this Cigar Aficionado for the troops.
I can't
it
smoke
was Jay
cigars
Johnstone.
because too much weed in my life has made me unable to not inhale. That cigars are so dangerous for me because I do not know how to puff them normally.
So fucking
I'm like, you know what? I'm just
crazy.
gonna smoke
Yeah.
a blunt. I have sober friends that like cigars are their one
I
vice,
know, I
and I go
know.
over to their house and I'm just like, I'm gonna smoke a blunt because I can't not.
I have
inhale.
such PTSD from cigars because my high school basketball coach used to smoke cigars. And the smell of like hazelnut coffee and cigars is so like
Arousing?
It makes me so hard that I
Because you were
can't
also
walk.
molested by the.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. Actually, I molested him, which is odd for a 13-year-old.
He's still in therapy. About it.
It's so funny. Listen, Nick really works for some people. I know Zyns are really popular.
I don't know what a Zyn is.
It's a nicotine pouch that you can
Does it
pop.
taste like nicotine?
It's tobacco. I've never put one in my mouth. Thank goodness I was off Nick.
All
by the
of my
time that
friends
they
do
came
them
out.
now.
yeah,
40
it's the
all
hugest-
these 40-year-old
Robert
guys.
Kennedy did it in the Senate
That
hearing the
is
other day.
the craziest.
He
by the way,
popped one in his
by the
mouth.
way, we live in a day and age where AI is happening all the time.
Yeah.
So I watch things like. I don't know. I watch something happen.
Skeptically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically in the sports world, someone says something and I'm like, that's AI. That's AI. Because they have those really funny press conferences where like players like after a game say like really offensive things.
Yeah.
At first I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Steph Curry said that. And then, but then I'm like, oh gosh, it's AI. But when I saw Robert Kennedy doing that at his hearing, and for those who don't know, he's putting a Zyn or a tobacco patch in his mouth during his hearing to become head of the Health and Human Services.
Taking over for Fauci.
He's putting a Zyn in when literally every camera in the world is trained on him.
And he's doing it like a
he's
kid in
trying to-
school. He like was kind of like
He does
like
it
when
the
you
way
used to-
I vape on an airplane.
Yeah. The way
But
I
at
eat
least you go to the bathroom. At least
Not anymore. I do it right in my seat.
I
Oh
eat
my gosh.
the way I eat a weed gummy in front of my mom at dinner because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die if I keep talking to her. So I just want to jam this 20 mils in my mouth.
But I mean, look, this is all on point because this is staying alive. It's crazy. So listen, Nick does work for people. And listen, nicotine is a narcotic. It works, man. If you need to concentrate on something, if I had to memorize lines and I blasted through a half a pack of ciggies,
You found yourself focusing more?
oh my God, it's a focus drug, Adam. It's
I never, in all of my cocaine and Adderall use, I never liked cigarettes. Like there's something, you know what it is? It's like that moment of a cigarette that you take it in and is different than weed. It's different than anything because it really is sharp. And it like, your mind shut, like it almost like it's death for a moment. It's like a mini version of DMT or something.
You
know?
still vape?
I still vape weed, yeah.
Vape? Do you vape, Nick?
No. I've never vaped, Nick. I've never vaped anything but the strongest live resin you have.
I was born in 1982, and so my trajectory was the exact fucking smoking and drinking and driving were two things that I literally never did out of pure fear. And then I turned the corner. I mean, I've since had to a couple of times, not smoke, but DUI.
Yeah.
But I have never, like, a cigarette was just so outlandish to me. Like, the idea of smoking one, even though both of my mom smoked through pregnancy. God knows if that really shrunk me in any way. That stunted my growth.
You would have been huge.
I would have CTE from being a D tackle for 5 years or whatever. I would have been a fucking, like, 5th rounder for the Falcons or some shit. But cigarettes just never landed on me. And then when I got to be 20-something years old and living in New York City and a lot of people are smoking cigarettes, I've already built I'll never do that. And one time someone rolled me a spliff with tobacco and weed in it, and we were playing bocce at the beach, and I took like 3 rips, and it was the highest I've ever felt in my life because it was the first time I ingested tobacco. I was like, I was like, wah, wah. It was like I was on whippets. My brain did not know what to do.
I think it's because it takes that oxygen away from your lungs for like a split second in a way that goes to your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I equate it with caffeine. It's just, it's a wonder drug.
Wow.
There's a reason like coffee and cigarettes, like, if you've ever gone to a AA meeting or something like that, or hung out with sober people, they're fucking blasting darts and chugging coffee.
There's no doubts that nicotine and caffeine make you sharper and more awake and more alert and happier. I'm sorry, guys. And by the way, now I'm sounding like RFK coming up with these, like, but that was, listen, for me, that's what it was for me. Now, I couldn't quit. My wife said, I'm not, because now we had like
kids
beyond infant kids. They were like children,
playing volleyball.
And I was going outside and ripping 2 darts and coming back inside.
God,
and my wife,
10 minutes.
And my wife, no, I could do it in 3.
You chugged it.
Fucking
I'm not joking. I could do it in 3.
Over here.
And my wife said, I'm not touching you anymore. I can't touch you if you like
stink like that.
You smell when you come to bed. Everyone can smell it. I was like, well, the kids don't know what it is, and they were like, but they're gonna know what that smell is. I'm not touching you. So my wife didn't touch me for 3 months.
3? You let it go that long?
That's the power of nicotine.
And I was like,
your wife is a supermodel.
So there was no touching.
That's how powerful cigarettes are. You couldn't quit for Rebecca.
I could not quit. Every day I would say, today's the day, and it would not be the day. And I would not smoke all day, and then I'd wait till my family went to sleep, and then I'd smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Jesus,
it was insane. It was
that sounds like compulsion too.
It's compulsion. It's addiction. It's obsession with something.
You think about it all day.
Yeah, because like that is a lot of men with families or women with families too. I shouldn't gender specific, but like the obsessive nature of something that's your own. You know what I mean? Is very
it's my
common.
time. Yeah.
It's my time. It's like and the secret, keeping it a secret, is also your time.
Yeah.
So there's a certain like, some dudes do it with video games.
Yeah. My brother does it with the gym, and he's got 2 kids, and I'm so jealous that his like solo habit is exercise. Like it's like wow, you've really fucking cheat coded yourself. That you're like,
I know. Mine is slot machines under the GWB.
He has 2 kids, and he goes to the gym before his kids wake up.
Oh,
do you know how hard that is to do? I mean, he works in a school, so he has early morning times. But I want to jump to something Jerry said earlier about how you feel when you get a little pump, when you get that little pop. And I think as we get older, there's this mental health element to getting your exercise in, because I feel better about myself post-workout, even if I don't see any definition or any new, just the feel of having like pushed yourself a little bit and a light soreness and a little sweat. I'll leave going like, I did something good for myself. And then, because you hear those people who are like, if I don't run, I get sad. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you go like 6 days without exercise, and you're like, should I kill myself? And someone's like, no, I think you need to get outdoors and go hiking hiking or go get your steps in. And then you do it and you're like, fuck, everyone is right. This is like a mental. And as you get, when you're younger, you're like, I want to get buff. I want big biceps. I want big traps. Then when you get older, you're like, I got to exercise so I don't fucking grind my teeth to a core at night. You know, like, and I feel like that's something that not a lot of people understand as you get older, of like that exercise can do way more than just, you know, get you leaner. Yeah. Burn
Jared,
calories.
what's your therapy reg?
Or even what do you do for your own mental health? Like what do you do that makes you feel better and stuff?
I am, I'm part of a group.
A group of,
that is anonymous, and I don't really talk about it publicly.
Yeah,
but I do want to say, if you ever want to talk to me privately about it, I'll talk to anybody privately.
That sounds great. I've been to meetings with that group. They're great. you know, like I have nothing bad to say about that group.
And I find that to be enough. Again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be shady. I just don't talk about it publicly.
This is your business.
But I do want to say, not only to you guys, but to anyone listening, anyone wants to talk to me privately about it, in person, like I did with Brad Volchuk. Dude, how are you so hot?
It's like snagged goop.
Meet you at Sweet Potatoes Anonymous.
Come and talk to me about it. And listen, this is a little unpopular what I do, but I think of it as Fight Club a little bit, where I don't talk about it publicly. And I'm sorry, that's me.
I think that's the right move. Yeah, whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you, and that's something that we're big.
And if you want us to take that out of the episode, we can.
No.
Yeah.
Leave everything I say. Even the January 6th stuff.
Have you gone to a therapist before?
Yeah, I went with my wife to therapy. We went to couples therapy. They always make me cry about my mom, so I stopped going because it was just always like crying about my mom. But
I'm a cry about my dad guy.
I'm a cry about my mom guy.
They always
you got one or the other. Like, I guess usually it's whichever one's dead.
But I mean, it is kind of funny. My wife and I found couples therapy to be really helpful with my wife and I.
Oh yeah, I find couples therapy to be like a savior when things get rocky.
Even when things are going good, couples therapy feels good too, because it feels like all right, we have this appointment and we both have to kind of be forthcoming and honest,
and you're both in it together.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm not really a therapy guy, guys, and I'm not knocking it. But therapy's not really my thing. Hey, can I get back to my smoking thing for one second?
Yeah,
please do, because I was bored with the therapy shit.
I couldn't quit smoking. Some girl who I smoked with at work, we call them butt cans. When you work on a set, they have a can filled with sand or water, and it's just the people who smoke have to stand around it almost like a urinal. And just like rip a
or like the old timey like homeless guys who are like
unhoused.
And I was ripping a butto, and there was this young lady I worked with who wasn't there anymore, and I went, "Hey, I'm going to get a smoke," and she went, "Oh gosh, I'm not smoking," and I went, "Oh, how did you quit?" And she said, "I got hypnotized," and I was like, "Give me the number. Give me the number."
Wait, you did it?
And so, listen, I had some experience with this, unsuccessfully. And I'm going to tell a long story, okay?
Do
we have like 4 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, that's not a long story
Scheer
for us.
banging on the door?
Oh, I don't think so. You want me to try to smoke a cigarette in the exact time of your story? See if I can get it down to 3 minutes.
2 cigarettes.
You sound like the BDSM lady I go to. She's like, you better come by the time I'm done with this cig.
I had bad experience with this in the past. I moved to Los Angeles. I was chain smoker. I was on a set, smoking a cigarette, muscular man. Wow, there's a theme with me.
I was going to say,
muscular men.
You seem to be talking to muscular men out of nowhere.
I think that's who we looked up to as I can't speak for you, sorry, Jerry, but like growing up, that's who you looked up to, was like athletes, buff guys, Arnold, Sly, Van Damme. Like those are the people who I was like. So I've always listened to buff men.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe I should get a podcast talking to muscular men with Jerry.
Dude, we'll produce it for you under the Smartless banner.
All right,
we're even less smart.
Yeah,
our banner.
Let me call Will. Can you get Will Arnett on the phone on the hopper?
You want me to do this?
Yeah. Jerry wants to do what?
Smoking a butto, muscular guy comes up to me, and I say, "Hey, you want a ciggy?" And he says, "No, I quit." And I went, "How did you quit?" And he went, laser surgery, laser therapy. And I went, "What?" And he went, laser therapy, man. It's incredible. It's a miracle. And he gave me a card. And so I called up the place, went in there, made an appointment, not cheap. They gave me like a binder of personal questions about private stuff, sex stuff, a binder. And I sort of like filled it out and I was like, man, I just want to stop with the ciggies. Like, what is this? They take the binder in the waiting room. They call me in. I go into a waiting room. It's got like a dentist, like a chair in there. And someone comes in a lab coat, arguably one of the most attractive women I had seen in LA up until that time, in a lab coat comes in. And I was like, young. And I was like, what is going on here? You're like, Ashton, pop out. Like, what is this? I thought I was.
I'm punk.
Yeah.
Where's Dax?
AK, where are you? Yeah. I went, what's going on here? You're not a laser doctor. What is this?
A laser doctor.
And she was like, I'm just going to ask some questions and then give you the treatment. And I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What is this? First of all, I'm not calling you doctor. Give me your phone number, first of all. Secondly, what is this place?
Yeah.
And she was like, it's laser treatment for people with deficiencies and dependencies. And I said, oh my gosh, is this? Now, I got to tell you, I've been in LA now for 7 years, and I had never once been a part of any cult, guys.
Scientology.
Any cult. They never got me. They tried. They invited me to parties.
Sounds like you were God.
I was at bars. I was drunk. They were like, hey, come on, we're having an after party. And then walking up, you'd see gates and a house and a neon sign, and you'd be like, oh, no.
Jerry, it sounds like you had some times with Laura Prepon.
I'm not going in there, right? And I was like, they got me. They got me drunk, and they were trying to get me in a building. And I was like, you're not getting me in there. No way.
Right.
I need my money for ciggies.
So,
and I was like, oh my gosh, is this affiliated with a religion?
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? And I was like, is this affiliated? I need to know. Did you guys get me? Did you fucking get me? Did you get me in a moment of weakness? I'm smoking a ciggy, and my weakness is a muscular man coming up to me and handing me a card
men?
To a secret club.
Then.
To a secret club, and this is the answer. Did you get me? And she was like, yes, it's affiliated with that. But they got me. So I had continued smoking all through that point until I met this woman who said, you got to go see this hypnotist. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I've been through this before. Is it affiliated with any religion? And she was like, no, it's just really good. Went to go see this old lady, had to pay cash up front. I was like, this is never going to work out. She made me bring pictures of my wife and my 2 children. And I sat in a chair in her weird office, and she put headphones on me, and whatever music you hear at a Burke Williams spa or when you're getting like a mani-pedi.
Enya style.
Started playing, and she was talking to me, and I fell asleep. And I woke up. And she said, okay, that's it. Thanks for coming. Stay in touch. Good luck with the rest of your non-smoking journey. And I was like, okay, thanks. What a load of shit. I fell asleep. Deep sleep. What a load of shit. I can't believe I paid cash for that. It was so much. Got to my car, grabbed my Marlboro mediums, put one in my mouth, about to light it. So upset with myself. By the way, I was not working. Money was tight. Couldn't believe I wasted that money. Could not light the cigarette.
Really? It worked.
You have no idea.
Well, you don't know what happened in that unconsciousness?
I don't know what happened. I have not had nicotine since then.
Wow.
I will say this. The big difference is the cravings have never gone away. That's
Right.
the bummer.
Oh, okay.
So bummer, everybody. The
You're always gonna want
cravings
it.
for nicotine have never gone away. I want it all the time. I just can't. I know I can't have even a drag of somebody's American Spirit outside of outside of the Viper room, you know. I like it just can't happen.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for talking to us. I am going to need the name of that hypnotist because I have a Sugarfish problem.
I've actually worked with you. I couldn't believe that you Uber Eated Sugarfish right to set.
I've been working with him for a while. I can totally believe it.
Everybody in this room has seen me do that multiple times.
Let me just let everybody know when you work on a set, like they say lunch and everybody grabs whatever slop they're serving,
like,
and I'd be like,
cool.
"Where's Pally? I want to sit
get my
with
box.
him." And he's got that box of
Get me the no
Sugarfish,
Ziwi,
which
trust
is
me,
like
or
the
whatever.
special box where they
I love that
bento
box. I save them.
Really?
No.
What if
You put your Legos in there?
It smells like horrible in my house.
What if we go back and watch this clip and you and I are asleep and Jerry's hypnotizing
Oh
us?
my God, and we wake up and I never want Sugarfish again? What do you do?
Cravings for Sugarfish, it never goes away.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, everybody, I still want that salmon.
Sugarfish is a good habit to have, though.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing
good.
bad.
You could do worse for yourself.
I was been asking a lot of the trainers that come on and stuff like, how bad is a Sugarfish box
Wow,
for
that's
you?
great.
There's a lot of white rice and sugar and stuff.
Oh, come on.
You know,
You could
Anyway.
do worse. Jerry,
Jerry,
thank
you're
you
the
so
best.
much for giving us your time.
And
Dude.
thank you, yeah. And you look amazing.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
There we go.
Oh, wow. There it is. Long
Long
Island.
Island.
Yeah, right.
Long
Nassau
Island.
and Suffolk.
Yeah, that's
Nassau,
for my guy over
Nassau
here.
on the armpit, Suffolk in, by the elbow.
Been to swimming with him?
No,
Couldn't you leave out that about staying alive?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big swimmer too.
I
Wait, you didn't even go through your gym. You said you didn't mention swimming in your gym.
He's insane. He's
Well-
like a merman.
Well, listen.
For the listeners, Scheer is off. Our next guest, Paul Scheer, is off camera screaming that Jerry's
Doing
a
our
big
job better than us.
Paul Scheer and I. Listen. First of all, I haven't had a swim in months since
But
the
you still have the
summer.
craving.
I was hypnotized
In
out
the
of swimming.
summer, but I love to open water swim, and what that means is like
Swim in the ocean?
ocean, like
Lakes.
ocean, lake if there's a lake. But I'm mostly my family lives on Long Island, and Paul and I did a classic film called Piranha 3D.
Oh yeah, they're remaking
Familiar.
it. Are you guys getting a cut of that remake?
Are they remaking it?
Yeah, yeah, with Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
That's
Oh, is that Piranha? Anaconda. Sorry,
They got snakes out here that big?
Get it right.
different franchise.
But we were working on a body of water because there has to be a body of water when you do a movie called Piranha, and I would open water swim every day.
Wow.
And Paul saw me, but I have not open water swim. I only open water swim in the summer.
Yeah,
so,
you don't
so
go
Paul
out there in a
caught me in the
wetsuit.
summer.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't mention it here.
No,
is
no,
'cause
it's fine.
I don't go in pools really. I'm like I love the ocean. I think there's like a
Healing powers.
yeah. I think there's like a therapy to it. I don't.
You got me. I'm 100% on board with that as an island boy. I was a Jones Beach lifeguard. I spent a lot of time in the ocean. I still swim in the ocean as frequently as I can this summer. I do swim laps in the off season because living in LA allows you to swim outside year round, which is kind of a fun.
Do you go to that West Hollywood pool?
Yes, sir. On top of the library. It's fucking
It's a really
rules.
good pool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim.
Well, we'll get this. That's
love
a
it.
remote episode.
Hey, dude, if you ever want to get ripped, swimming is the joint.
Really?
Obviously.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so your story early on about how you got ripped for a movie is my dream. Like that's the only way I think I'll ever.
Where the
really
carrot
enjoy-
is a big gig with money.
Yes, yeah.
Same.
I can't. Like this is the best it's ever going to get for me without money.
I think I want to quote you. One time I said to you, all I want in my career is to get one of those jobs where they pay you to go to like boot camp and like you learn how to, and you were like, that might be the only way you live to 60.
You know, guys.
So Marvel, help me out here.
You know, guys. You actually think that, but real health and happiness and real staying alive, Adam, happens when no one is forcing you. And
You're right.
And Adam, no one's looking.
You're right.
It's just for you. So if you want to stay alive, you got to do it when no one else is looking.
Jesus Christ, Jerry.
I gotta take a shit. Jerry, you're the best. We
Thank
love you.
you, bud.
Thank you so much.
That was a good chat. I don't know about you, but I need a cigarette.
I need a little
All we
ciggy.
take away from that is that you and I start smoking.
I guess.
Sorry, Jerry.
I will say that like he did romanticize cigarettes. Like if I ever have to write a term paper, I will definitely be smoking cigarettes again.
That was the most realistic conversation I've had about cigarettes in a long time.
Me too, like, because it wasn't all like they'll kill you. It was like, ooh, they're great.
He even says like, I'm over my addiction, but you never stop thinking about it.
I know it's crazy too, because like I just can't imagine Jerry O'Connell smoking.
Yeah, no, it feels great. He's so fit. Yeah. I know a few other people who did the hypnotist thing and it worked for them.
Really?
Yeah, mutual friends of ours. Yeah.
Maybe I should go to cut down on my sugarfish intake.
You have to go to a very specific hypnotist to be like, I want to switch from the trust me to the trust me
All
light.
of a sudden I'm going to Kazu Nori.
I'm just doing hand rolls.
Just doing hand rolls. I can't even, I brought that.
You go to a hypnotist who makes you just into sashimi so you can get rid of rice.
Telling you, I brought that piece of sushi up to my mouth. I couldn't do it.
Got in my car, busted out my fucking box.
Got in my car, took out my sushi, my box of fish.
That I kept in my car.
If I can do a 30-minute ride without craving fish.
All the parallels to cigarettes, like you right after you have sex, you roll over and just eat a sushi roll. Nothing hits. You need a sushi roll in the morning to get
Blue
you to
crab
shit.
hand roll, baby.
5 edamame, and then you're just shitting on the can.
I gotta go have an unagi break from work. Out in the cold outside, huddled around with a bunch of people complaining about the boss handing out sushi rolls.
Hey, it's not fair. How come my coworkers get to have all these 10-minute sushi breaks throughout the day? I should get to leave early.
Eat at your desk, Diane.
Now, I want cigarettes and sushi right now so bad. Hey, next week, guys. See you there or here. Well, you'll see us. We won't see you at all, which is, part of our plan.
yeah, we're not going to interact. Later.
Stay alive.
I am a bit machine. I can't not do bit.